What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
The organizers of the failed Fyre Festival are feeling the heat.
Savage.
And we're back with One Piece, chapter 1050. Alright? And just like the Fyre Festival in the Bahamas, organized by Ja Rule and Billy McFarlane, the organizers of the failed Fyre Festival are feeling the heat. Alright? We're talking Magma heat. Alright? Look, bro, they got the heat on feet, bro. This is T-1000 level, T-800 at the end of Terminator 2. All we're missing is the thumbs up as Kaido just falls down. What does this mean? Are they dead? I mean, the volcano erupted, right? During the stream, people pointed me back to a moment in Skypeia, all right, where Pagaya, okay, legendary Will of P, Pagaya, explained how Sky Islands are made, right? Volcanoes erupt, sending Kairoseki into the sky, and then they create pyro-blow-in, and that's how you get sea clouds and island clouds. And we also know that Kairoseki comes from Wano. It's proprietary to Wano. So does that mean that all Sky Islands are made from the volcanoes erupting from Wano? And then they just fly and float and blow through the air and, you know, don't have a, like, fixed position in the sky. They're constantly moving. Maybe. But a lot of people think that this means that a new Sky Island is being formed. And among the rubble of the Sky Island, will Kaido and Big Mom be fossilized in it? I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. This is a monumental chapter. The Fyre Festival has failed, but the raid has succeeded. Let's talk about this. Monkey D. Luffy is the winner of the rooftop battle. The decisive winner, all right, against the Yonko Kaido. All right, it's over and done with. There will be no more Luffy versus Kaido, just as I've been saying. Now, that's not to say that Kaido and Big Mom are completely done. I mean, it doesn't look great for them. They're floating in magma, right? Now, granted, Kaido did have a magma form that he went up against Luffy. Does that make him immune to magma? I don't know, right? Oda's being purposefully vague here, okay? But I do not think that they will be the threats that are looming. Maybe Big Mom. But Kaido, if there's going to be anything left for him to do in this arc, like I've been saying, it's going to more than likely be him going up against whatever the world government is bringing. If that's the SSG and Vegapunk and all of that, I could see an all-out battle with Kaido versus the SSG. And then him being taken down by the SSG to amp them up, right? He'll already be pretty much down and out. So it'll be kind of like Whitebeard at the end of Marineford, essentially. But do we even need that? I think not. Here we have a man who wanted to die a grand death, and he is doing no such thing. There is no audience. There will be no story to accompany anyone's drinks, because the only person who knows what happened, realistically, is Luffy, maybe Momonosuke. No one is going to know where Kaido went, anything. This is the perfect parallel to Oden's death, where there was an audience, it is a story that people talk about, it's exactly what Kaido wanted. He is getting the opposite. Oden died with a smile on his face, falling into burning oil. Kaido is falling into burning magma with an upside-down smile, a frown on his face. He is getting the opposite of what he wanted. Whitebeard and Roger did it right. Kaido has officially done it wrong. Who's going to be our new Shogun? Right? All signs right now are pointing to Hiyori, aka Komurasaki, actually becoming the Shogun, which is something that we've talked about and we've brought up plenty of times. because I am among the camp that believes that Momonosuke does not stay on Wano and does not become the Shogun. All right, even if Denjiro announces that Momonosuke is the Shogun, right, and he does not announce Hiyori as the Shogun, Momonosuke is going to, after reuniting with his sister in the next chapter, which just seems like that's a layup prediction, right? But he's going to look at Hiyori. He's going to understand all of the trials and tribulations that she has gone through over the past 20 years dealing with Orochi. She understands Wano. She understands the people. She understands what needs to be done. He still has the mind of an 8-year-old, but he does have the aptitude to know that she'll be able to handle the job. So he will pass that torch on, right? If Tengu Yamahitetsu reveals himself to be Kozuki Sukiyaki, which is another thing that, we've been a big supporter of here, then he could become the Shogun, right? But I also see a situation where he says, I've had my time in the sun, my granddaughter will be able to handle this, right? Why? Because Momonosuke said that he's not going to open the borders of Wano yet. Why? Because there is something in that journal. There is something that hasn't happened yet that he needs to see through. He needs to go on an adventure. So he is going to be joining the Straw Hats and going to Laugh Tale to finish those pages, to understand how important, why it is important to open the borders of Wano. And I think the reason is that the world government needs to be dismantled before the borders of Wano can be open. So Momonosuke is going to see that through to the end. All right? Things are looking really good for Yamato to join the crew. Really love the little smile that Yamato gives Luffy, that sigh of relief. This is a great opportunity for crew members to interact with Yamato now. We are sitting in the happiness of all of this. I do not think that this happiness is going to last more than 2 to 3 chapters, because there are still world government ships over there, and things about to get spicy. It was brought up in the stream. What happens when Yamato meets Zoro? Will Yamato recognize Ushimaru inside Zoro's face? Will that trigger the lore that we've been wanting? Potentially. Will it ever be revealed that Tama is a Kurozumi? Maybe. I mean, now is the time, right? We've got Hitetsu here. We just had a little mini flashback with Toko, which was, very heartwarming and all of that. We had this whole Yasuie, just reprise, bringing that all full circle. Did he actually eat the smile or not? Like the Beaver card suggested that he did not. When you look at the official, it doesn't show him actually taking a bite. I think the anime will actually clue us in here if he's really, because I honestly, when the Beaver card came out and said that he hadn't eaten a smile, I thought that was one of the most amazing things, that he was just putting on this face, just helping everybody not feel as bad, like he was one of them. Now, the idea of one of the key, not necessarily protagonists, but, supporting characters or even protagonists being a Kurozumi, right? The idea of this stemmed from having a character that is inherently good, right? That is not bogged down by the sins of their fathers or of their lineage, right? All of the Kurozumis that we've seen have been evil. Orochi, Higurashi, Kanjuro, right? Etc., etc. Having a good Kurozumi creates this sort of muddiness, this blend, right? Because there were a lot of Kurozumis that were murdered, and they weren't bad. They were just existing, right? And this is actually the fault of the Kozuki clan. So I really would like Momonosuke or Hiyori or even Sukiyaki, to actually address this, right? And having someone like Tama or Toko or Yamato be a Kurozumi handles this, right? Tama, potentially the daughter of Orochi, right, becomes friends with Momonosuke. Then you build this interesting dynamic where Momonosuke has to sort of be challenged, like, wow, this person that I befriended is actually the daughter of the person who ruined my country, right? Now, we actually got that element with Yamato. Now, the Tama theory that I had was before Yamato was even a character, right? but we actually had exactly what I wanted from the Tama theory come from the character of Yamato being the daughter, the son of Kaido, right? The person who actually put a bullet in Momonosuke's father's head, right? So he's already had to sort of be challenged by that. So Oda gave me that, to do it again. Is that too much or is it enough? I'll decide by the end of Wano, right? But could it be that Yamato is also part Kurozumi, right? We've talked about this, but, Higurashi has the same hair as Yamato, even with the little green on the ends. So, and they can transform into anybody they want. I'm just going to leave that there. Toko, also potentially being the daughter of Orochi, would also open that. It would add layers to the scene between Toko and Orochi, right? It would add layers between Hiyori stepping in front of, all of this stuff that was going on with Toko and Orochi. So you still get those layers there, and then Tenguyama Hitetsu protecting Toko in the same way that he was protecting Tama. It's all of the layers are there, right? But then it becomes more of an intrinsic thing of between Hiyori and Toko, and Hiyori forgiving that rather than Momonosuke, right? And Hiyori is actually the more powerful person to forgive a child of Orochi in the first place and restore faith in the Kurozumis, because Toko's a good person. Will we cure the smiles going forward, right? Is that something that Vegapunk will be able to do, since he was able to take care of the kids on Punk Hazard, right? Supposedly. If Chopper's able to do it, that's cool too. Whatever happened to Chopper's, partial dream of finding the area that Hiruluk found, right? For years, going back to Thriller Bark, we thought it would be here on Wano, Sakura trees, based on Japan. Long-standing theory. Will it ever happen, or will it happen when we return to Wano at the end of the series to bring back Momonosuke after sailing with him? Maybe that's when Chopper finds it. More than anything, guys, this is a feel-good chapter, right? I'm talking about We Did It is playing throughout this, all right? Right? That's what's playing during this. We've won. We're sitting in the joy of winning. Okay? We need that. Now, this win will be short-lived, because that's just how storytelling works. In order to move forward, some catalyst, some drama is going to happen to have us leave this island, okay? If that's the world government ships arriving, if that's news reaching Luffy and the rest of the crew about what happened at the Reverie, any of these things, that's what's going to be the power shift here. Now, we could also end the act. Something we've been talking about for a long time, but now it would make sense. It would make sense. And we have Hiyori here as well to sort of play us off here with the shamisen. What should we expect in 1051 and beyond? All right, well, certainly in 1051, we've seen Momonosuke switch into his human form, right? So I feel like 1051 is going to be the reveal of Momonosuke in his human form looking like Oden, right? I mean, that's a layup, right? We're going to get Momonosuke and Hiyori finally reuniting. We're going to hear who this shogun is going to be, unless Oda wants to drag it on. I don't see the need, but Oda's Oda, right? We will figure out who the shogun's going to be. We're going to find out what's going on with the Straw Hats. We did not see Robin and Sanji here, so maybe we'll get an update on them. Maybe Robin is still inside Onigashima looking for the poneglyph. Maybe she'll find the poneglyph. Perhaps we'll see Sanji, helping some people descend from Onigashima. Maybe we'll see the aftermath of this volcanic eruption, right? Is there a looming threat due to the volcanic eruption? Is there lava heading towards the flower capital? And now everybody's got to escape and get to Zunisha, and, all of the Wano citizens will live on Zo until they're able to, fix everything. Maybe. Who knows? I'd like to cut to the world government ships and see what's going on there. Momonosuke was basically like, hey, Zunisha, thanks for showing up, but, you know, you can turn back around now. And Zunisha's like, all right, bet. A lot of people talk about this all being anticlimactic. I think the most anticlimactic thing would be if Zunisha just swatted away all of the world government ships. Then there's literally no purpose for those ships to have ever been there, right? We still have the Big Mom pirates to deal with, right? Now that it's almost definitive that Big Mom is down and out, right? That's a good time for the Big Mom pirates to show up and say, hey, where's our mom? Parasparrow. What's going on with him? Is he going to get back up? These are questions. These are things that we got to deal with, guys. Oda needs to give us some definitive answers here. That's going to wrap things up, guys. I want to thank all of our members, including the new members, Francisco Butte and Jack Robson, and also shout out to Enigma Sword for rejoining. To everybody else that supports the channel, Chrissy and I, we appreciate it. All right. Don't forget to catch us on Twitch. All right, twitch.tv/RandyTroy. Twitch.tv/Chrissy Varley. You know, we're on there each week. It's a good time. It's a good time. I'll see everybody back here for 10:51. There's no break, so it's exciting times. Right? We're actually at the end of this arc. Like I said in the last review, we are weeks away from seeing what is going on outside of the world. The internet will break once again. It will. All right. Later, everybody.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.